We are so excited because we are bringing you a second round of amazing school districts, organizations that have openings for the 2021-2022 school year. So get ready because we're getting ready to get started. And our first school that we will be with is Pembroke Hill School, which is a school district. You see our agenda here. We will start with Pembroke Hill, move on to Guadalupe Centers, Citizens of the World Charter School, Turner Public Schools, and then end off our morning/early afternoon with KIPP KC. So give us a second as we introduce our first school. Just know that throughout our event, you will be seeing the survey link as always. We would love to have feedback on how we're doing, what we could do better, etc. So our first school district, the Pembroke Hill School, like I said, give us a second, and we will be on soon with Vanessa Albert. Vanessa, how are you?
Good, Susanna. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You know, the technology stuff is always nerve-wracking for me because I'm like, are we live? It says we're live. I don't really know, it's just a whole new world out there these days. So thank you for bearing with us and for being with us this morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good, good. I know you had a PowerPoint to share with us, but before we go there, tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay. My name is Vanessa Albert. I'm the Human Resources Director for Pembroke Hill School. I have been here for 10 years, and I'm from Kansas City. So, and I've been in HR for about 25 years, and I also have taught. So I'm very familiar with what it's like to plan a lesson, execute it, and that kind of thing. I taught on the college level, so HR classes, but it gave me good insight into a teacher's world. So.
Yes, teaching, I will say, is not easy, as you as you know. It's a lot of responsibility, but it's also very, very rewarding. Thank you for being with us today, Vanessa. I will start your PowerPoint. You just kind of let me know when you want me to move on.
Okay. Well, here you're seeing our logo, and also this is our homepage for our website for Pembroke Hill School. And I will point out the motto of freedom with responsibility right there under our school name. It says a lot. It talks about working here, and it talks about going to school here. So we give a lot of freedom within the boundaries of responsibility. So the students have a lot of freedom to be themselves and to make mistakes, if you will, and learn from them. That's the best way I can describe it. And the teachers also have that ability to plan lessons and go push the boundaries and make some mistakes and learn from those. And there's a lot of guidance, resources, and freedom when you work here. So I think that's one of the things that the teachers comment about working here and love, the freedom with responsibility. So I wanted to point that out.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that, Vanessa.
Yeah. A little bit about Pembroke Hill. If you have not heard, or if you're not familiar with Pembroke Hill, or maybe if you have some conceptions about what it is, let me just tell you a little bit about us. We've been around as a school in Kansas City for about 100 years. It used to be a boys and a girls school, and in 1984, they merged together to form a coeducational school. It's independent, which means it's a private school that does not get any state funding. All of our funding is from tuition or donations. It also means, by being independent, that we can do things a little bit differently than in the public school that has the state mandates. We do respect those. We do some of the testing, but that the states do, but we, as far as curriculum wise, we can set our own curriculum. And we have different types of testing that we can do, being independent. We are not affiliated with any religious institutions. So unlike other private schools that have a diocese that they're attached to, we do not have that, and we do not teach specific religions. We are free to teach about different cultures and different religions, but we do not associate or align with any particular religion. We do have 2 campuses located in the heart of Kansas City. One is our early childhood and lower school or elementary campus, which is right across from Loose Park, serving age 2 through grade 5 on that campus. There's 2 divisions: early childhood, which is age 2 through pre-K, and then there's a lower school or elementary division, K through 5. Then on the other campus, which is located about 51st and state line, is the middle school and the upper school. Middle is 6th through 8th, and upper is 9 through 12. We, as the PowerPoint slide here suggests, we're committed to a culturally competent education. So that means that's one of our focuses, teaching kids to be able to live in a global world and different cultures. That includes learning about different cultures. And the reason I put we're actively seeking diverse candidates to achieve this is because we value diversity in our teaching staff. We also value it in our curriculum. So we're actively looking at our curriculum to make sure that we are getting representation from all cultures. That includes race, religion, sexuality, and that kind of thing. We're open to teaching our students about citizens of the world and values that support them. We have a lot of good resources and small classroom sizes. So in the lower school, the student teacher ratio is about 1 to 11. And in the middle and upper school, it's about 1 to 16. So that gives the opportunity to get to know the students and to have great conversations in the classroom, and to really focus on individual learning and differentiated learning. In the lower school, I will mention that I said the ratio is 1 to 11. We have 2 teachers in the classroom. So that means we have 2 positions, a lead teacher and an assistant teacher. They're both teachers, so but the lead teacher does all the outside planning. And that gives an opportunity actually for teachers who are just starting out to come in and learn under a lead teacher and then be considered for a lead teacher, or to move on if they wish to another lead, but they have a very good experience and great resources in that role as well. We have a supportive environment. We have a lot of professional development that goes on here, as well as supporting outside PD. We believe in lifelong learning, and so we support that, whether it be through time or providing resources, money for PD opportunities. So, and then I think another thing, a great thing about working for Pembroke is that our community is strong. The parents are very involved and helpful, and the teams are very collaborative. So I have the unique benefit of getting to know all the teachers that work here. And that's one thing that people comment on, is how collaborative and how professional and caring everybody is, from coworkers to administration. So a little bit about Pembroke Hill.
Awesome.
About 1,200, I didn't mention that we have about 1,200 students total. And we also have about 200 people that work here. So it's a great place to work.
Yeah, and that seems like a pretty good ratio, like you said. I mean, 1 to 11 is unheard of in some schools. 1 to 16, right, is unheard of in some places. And if that's the kind of environment that someone prefers, then Pembroke Hill may be the place. So on to your next slide.
Oh no.
I didn't know if that's how you wanted it, but we can just move on to the next one. You can tell us about your diversity, equity, and inclusion kind of. How about this?
Yeah,
We'll stay here and you tell us about your.
Yeah, that looked like I was trying to hide something, but in reality, I was highlighting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, darn, I wish I would have known that that came across that way. So I will just talk about our efforts. And I'm going to refer folks also to look at our website. The first slide was the homepage, but under About Us, there is actually a place to go that will tell you a little bit about our commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion. So we'll just talk about that real quick.
Yes, and by the way, Vanessa and viewers, the links are all going into the comments right now. And so if you're interested in checking out the website, the link is in our comments right now. But yes, go ahead.
Great. I just want to say that we wholeheartedly believe that we have a responsibility, and this is to our students, to provide equitable opportunities and experiences that will foster their understanding of each other and help them develop into thoughtful members of a diverse community and prepare them for an increasingly global society. So it's our responsibility as teachers and administrators to do that. And so we have the same responsibility to each other. Our core values are respect, compassion, scholarship, and integrity. And that we expect to be leaders. We expect our teachers to be leaders in the work and approach it with cultural humility, sincerity, and determination. So it's an expectation of our culture for each other and our students. Our mission is together cultivating the best in each for the benefit of all. So I think that says a lot. We live by it, and it's a reminder that is given to us to continue to focus together, cultivating the best in each other for the benefit of all. Just to give you more information about Pembroke and the students that we have, as far as diversity, we get students from 7 different counties, 82 different zip codes, both in Kansas and Missouri. And these students represent a variety of socioeconomic, religious, ethnic, and racial backgrounds. Students of color represent about 30% of the school's population. And as far as the tuition being a barrier, because we do have high tuition, we have about $3 million in need-based financial aid that is awarded, and approximately 25% of the student body is on financial aid. So we really value getting those students who really want to come here that might have a financial barrier. So that helps us in a lot of ways. As an additional comment about our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We just recently announced the appointment of a diversity and equity inclusion director who will start with us in July. And we've done a lot of work so far. We call it a journey for each of us. We've done training. We've hired a consultant to help us in our efforts. And now we're making the commitment with a full-time position. So it is threaded throughout the entire school, and again, to our employees and to our students. So that's our focus, and it's very important to us. And we've done a lot of work, and we have a lot of work to do still.
Yeah, I appreciate you mentioning that it's a journey, because we're definitely all on that journey for equity, right? Educators should consistently be reflective and wanting to learn more about our students, our families, our communities. Generations change, right? And kiddos change, and so do neighborhoods. And so I appreciate that. So speaking of all the great things happening at Pembroke Hill, what are y'all looking for?
Well, what you see right now is a current list of our openings. You can always learn more and learn even more current openings by going to our website, which I think the next slide will show, but let me talk about our current ones now. We are looking for a director of alumni relations. So this is a full-time year-round position to connect with alumni and to provide special opportunities for the alums to connect them back to the school. There's many alumni that have things to offer to our current students in helping with the education of our current students. So this person will lead those efforts. The assistant or associate director of college counseling is open. Assistant or associate, because that'll depend on the person's experience coming in and where they've been. We're willing to look at an entry level or a more seasoned person for that role. Almost 100% of our students go on to college. So this person will work with sophomores, juniors, and seniors in their search for the right college for them. We are looking for a middle school Spanish teacher. We really strongly prefer someone who is a native for this role. Middle school, again, is 6th through 8th. So we offer Spanish all the way from preschool through 12th grade. So it is a part of a bigger program. And there are a lot of kids that elect Spanish in the middle school. And so that will teach the 6th through 8th kiddos. We're looking for I mentioned when I talked about the school that our elementary or lower school has a teacher's assistant and a lead teacher in the classroom. So our 2nd grade is looking for a lead teacher. And we also have a kindergarten opening as well. We are also looking for faculty assistants in the lower school. This is a great opportunity for someone who's just maybe done some student teaching and wants to get into a classroom and learn a little bit more. Or it is also a great opportunity for on the back end of maybe somebody's career that loves being around kids, but doesn't want the planning and the grading because the day ends at 3:30 for the faculty assistants. And so they get to be around kids and then don't have the extra work of planning and grading and all that. So it's a great opportunity for really anybody that wants to start their career or end their career either way, or even in the middle, and they want to get into Pembroke Hill. We are also looking for an early childhood lead teacher and also a faculty assistant in the early childhood. Our early childhood is a Reggio Emilio approach, which is project learning. It's based out of Italy, and we are willing to train the right person as well with on that approach. So those are our openings right now.
That's great. We have a quick question from our comments from Marisol. Hi, Marisol. Thanks for joining us. The question is about the Spanish classes. How is the curriculum taught at the elementary level versus it being an elective course in middle and high school?
So it is one of the required specials, we call them, in the elementary. So all the kids go through Spanish up through 5th grade. And then in middle school, we offer 3 languages. We offer Latin, Spanish, and Chinese. So, 4, sorry, I forgot about French. So there's 4 offerings starting at the middle school level. Spanish seems to be the most popular, so but it is elected at that.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Marisol. Great question. One more quick thing about your openings, Vanessa. Hi, Gloria. Thanks for being with us today. The question is, what are the qualifications for a faculty assistant?
Good question. And you'll find more information on the postings. But to answer the question, we do require a bachelor's degree. We do prefer that it be in education, and some type of work with young students, whether it be tutoring or a combination of the education degree and maybe nannying. We've taken some of those qualifications. So, but definitely having a bachelor's degree and preferably in education, and work around elementary students, elementary age students.
Perfect. Thank you, Vanessa, for answering those questions. And thank you, Marisol and Gloria have both said thank you. As I mentioned earlier, we are putting links in the comments right now. And so the links to these job descriptions is in our comments right now. So check that out if you have any further questions about those openings. But speaking of, Vanessa, if I heard something that caught my eye and I'm considering applying, what should I do?
You should go learn more about the school at pembrokehill.org. That will give you a very, both with video, pictures, and words, a feel for the school. And then if you go to the About Us and then Employment, it will give you the link to learn more about our jobs and working here and what that's like. And then, as I said, the current openings will be listed there and you may apply online.
Awesome. Vanessa, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Any other thoughts or words you'd like to say before we let you go?
I would like to thank you very much, Susanna, for the opportunity to speak to your members. And I would encourage anyone who even has curiosity to check us out. And I will add, I didn't add this on the slideshow, but if you would like to talk to me personally, you want a little bit more information, I've given you a flavor. You might get a flavor from the website, but I invite anybody to email me, reach out. My email address is valpert, VALPERT, @pembrokehill.org. And I'm happy to have a conversation and just talk to you more about Pembroke Hill and what it's like to work here.
I love it. That email address will go into our comments as well. You are always, LEC community, welcome to email me as well. And I'll get you connected to Vanessa. Vanessa, have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, bye-bye.
Bye.